It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and happy Monday to you. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning. Happy Monday indeed. I am Philip Simon.
And of course, it's our pleasure to be back with you after what we hope was a wonderful weekend. We hope that you're looking forward to an exciting week. Many students, I think this is the last cohort finally going back to school, whether that is online or in person. And Phil, I've been thinking this morning actually about our teachers and just, as a parent, it has been a major adjustment having to monitor virtual schooling. But I think about the teachers who have had to just transform the way they teach and relearn many of them new skills. And so this morning, just wanting to send a very special shout out to our teachers and of course, always to our doctors, to the nurses, to the auxiliary staff at our hospitals and medical institutions who continue to be on the front line of this pandemic. And unfortunately, Phil, this morning, sending condolences to the family of Dr. Yante Cartwright, who would have passed away this past weekend.
Yep. I heard about that, and not just her, but anybody who would have lost a loved one this past weekend. Still in the midst of it, still very confusing at times. But again, we are, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I must say so, right? In every aspect of it, we can certainly give God thanks for who we are. As human beings, as created in His image and His likeness. And I just want to, endorse what you're saying about the teachers, man. They are at the heart of education. Educators, so I cannot imagine being one. My mother was one for 40 plus years. I cannot imagine being one. So kudos to them, and we tip our hat to all of you out there today.
We certainly do. Also, we are now just 10 days away from our national elections, and certainly some activity happening over the weekend. Seeing lots of images coming out of Grand Bahama, in particular on Saturday, and I'm hearing that there was some movement in New Providence as well. And so, I'm really just prayerful about the numbers. I know that they have been doing them, the Free National Movement starting it off last week with a series of drive-in rallies in different islands, etc. And the PLP certainly jumping on and doing the same. And I'm just reminding everyone that we are very much in the midst of this pandemic. People are still dying. We are still losing too many people every day. It is impacting our way of life significantly. And so we just really want to encourage you that even as you celebrate your party, as the bases are galvanized, to please take proper precautions, but to not let your guard down. If you've not been fully vaccinated, especially to keep your distance, wear your mask, sanitize. We want to get out of this thing as quickly and safely as possible.
I went out once this weekend, just once, took a drive around yesterday afternoon, went to go find my brother down there in Vauxhall. And, just looking around, it just seems like we all think that it's just back to normal. I mean, the beaches are full. I mean, you could, hear the music on the streets. I mean, people out and about, even some of the images coming in from, the rallies over the last week or so. Might as well just do it in person. I mean, forget the cars because, everybody's together.
They are there dancing. I understand. I grew up in a very political household, so I know for some people what this means culturally, but I also just want us to recognize how serious this thing is that we are dealing with. And all we can do is hope that a word to the wise is sufficient. The sad, very sad part about this particular disease, this virus, is that it does not just attack those who are negligent. Unfortunately, you can bring it home to those who are very much trying to do their part and they can still suffer. And so this really is the meaning of looking out for each other, being our brother and sister's keeper. And so again, just emphasizing before we get into today's show to please, as much as possible, honor yourselves and each other by trying to remain compliant. We are tired, we exhausted, we don't like the protocols, but they are there to save lives. Our systems are still overwhelmed. And so even as you celebrate, even as you enjoy the season for what it may mean to you, or even if you hate it and you just can't wait for it to be done, do it socially distant and wearing a mask.
I tell you what, I can't say that I am disappointed. It's only 10 more days to go. I'm quite happy that the election was a snap election. But listen, there are people who are celebrating today. We honored Joan Albury on Friday, but today is actually her birthday. We want to say happy birthday once again to the Commander-in-Chief of Bahamas at Sunrise, the Consulus Limited, Joan Albury. Candia Dames is also celebrating a birthday today. Crystal Bethel, and my cousin Akira Rolle. I haven't seen you in such a long time, but happy birthday, KK.
Happy birthday to all of you. Two titans of media celebrating today. Something about those September babies, I guess. I have something to look forward to with my little one who also celebrates later this month. But a happy birthday to all of you. And now, of course, we get to talk to you about what's coming up in today's show. What do we have, Phil?
Well, we're continuing with our Focus on Education series. I had such a good time on Friday past with the Sharons, but this morning we're going to be talking about the role of technology in learning, which you alluded to earlier in the show, Star. And we'll also be talking with Donovan Rolle, J Fitness. He's got a new book out called The Heart of a Spartan.
Looking forward to both of those conversations. The Doctors Hospital is here. They're going to be talking about the nursing cadet student program. And we'll also get an update from BPL on progress in Abaco 2 years post-Dorian. Now, what I'm really excited about is the fact that, Phil, we're coming up on celebrating 20 years next month of Bahamas of Sunrise. And of course, we would love to hear from you, those of you that have been with us for the past 20 years, those that have gone, those that have come back, those that just started. It is, of course, because of you that we get to continue to do the show. So please send video and audio messages about what you've enjoyed about the show over the years and offer your kind wishes and congratulations to our hardworking team. These will be used to create a video to air during our anniversary show. So please email videos and audio messages to sparker@tclbahamas.com. And the deadline for submission is it can only be one day, Phil. Thursday, September 16th, election day, right? Like that's the day you got to remember. So that's the day that we've said, let that be the deadline. If you've got any well wishes at all for us, please send them into sparker@tclbahamas.com.
Yes, of course, we've got all of this and much more. But first, weather at sunrise with Godfrey, legendary Burnside. He's been here from the very beginning, Star.
Indeed, he has. Here's Godfrey with our first look at weather.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. Some of that weak high-pressure ridging that continues to produce light breezes, while some streaming tropical moisture will support some showers and thunderstorms by afternoon. Today, partly sunny, hot and humid, with a few showers or an isolated thunderstorm by afternoon. High temperature reaching 91, heat index 104. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around, so on the warm side. 1 or 2 passing showers possible, and isolated thunder popping up. Below going down to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 88 and 79. In Jamaica, 88 and 75. In Trinidad, 86 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 91 and 77. Across North America, Atlanta, 84 and 67. In Raleigh, 87 and 67. In Miami, 92 and 78. Dallas, Texas, 92 and 77. And Toronto, Canada, 72 and 62. As you go to the week, high pressure builds across the islands, but still offers under streaming tropical moisture. So we look at a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers and afternoon thunderstorms. Temperature daytime will be in the low 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. And that's what you're up in your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm glad to go inside. Back to you, Star.
Yep. Thank you, Godfrey.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Godfrey. Well, creating educational opportunities through technology is the topic for our Focus on Education segment today. Here to discuss this with us, we're very happy to welcome Ms. Sharmaine Sinclair. She's the Assistant Director of Education, Research, and Planning. Good morning, Ms. Sinclair, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Mrs. Palacios. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Bahamas.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. You look like you're bright-eyed and cherry-tailed. You're ready to go for the day. You must get up very early in the morning to make sure that all the technology is working with the ministry.
Well, I get up early, that is true, but this is a team effort. And so everyone playing their part makes it all work.
I love that. And we've been hearing that consistently from every ministry personnel, all of the ministry personnel that have joined us on the show during these special segments that we've had with you. And today we really want to learn more about your learning management system for the Learning Portal. So are you able to tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. We call it the Bahamas Virtual Learning Portal. And it consists mainly of three main parts. It would be our EMIS, or Education Management Information System, which is the part that deals with all of the data, the information for management. And then we have the Learning Management System, which is where all of the teaching and learning processes take place virtually. And sandwiched in between there would be the Microsoft Office 365 system that works with both sides to make it work.
Wow. So that's three systems that have to be running in one just to make everything happen virtually.
Yes.
And, based on that, how has the virtual learning portal been working for all levels? The three of those systems, the teachers, the students, you all in the background, how has it been working for everyone?
Well, we started last school year. COVID kind of gave us a push in terms of things were changing rapidly. We were not sure what was happening on the ground in terms of the health and safety of our teachers, as well as our students and the rest of our staff in education. And so we went full force into virtual learning. The students and the teaching staff in particular needed to be prepared for the learning management system. In order for that to happen, we had to have the Education Management Information System, which is populated by a group of persons at all levels at the school complex. And these would be what we call the system managers or system administrators. They populate all of the data concerning classes, teachers, students, what needs to happen on a day-to-day basis in the learning management system. So all of that information flows over. So far, we've had over 64,000 records entered into the EMIS, or the Education Management Information System. And this was done, as I said, by the people that work in our schools. They've done a great job. They've assigned students to classes, teachers to classes, and the subjects as well. We started last week with the beginning of school teaching in the learning management system. We have our students assigned to their classes, as I said, and the teachers, they are creating live events. They are uploading resources. They are going full-fledged. And I must say, I'm very proud of our teachers. I'm very proud of our system administrators.
That's excellent. And just, it makes me so proud to hear. And it just reminds you of what a group effort it takes to make anything work, especially something new and something that happened so suddenly and had to be changed so quickly. And so congratulations to you and to the teachers in the individual schools who've been making this happen. What sort of feedback have the teachers been giving you about the system itself?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've created three opportunities for feedback. One, we have created a Teams group in Microsoft Office where teachers and administrators are able to collaborate. They're able to say, you know, Ms. Sinclair, we tried this was not working. And then someone else would jump in and say, but you know, I tried it and this is how I got it to be working. So that opportunity. We've also created a monthly come together where we're able to train, build capacity, and they're able to give feedback during that time to say, you know, was effective. I was able to attach or assign students, live events were created, but guess what? This did not show up. So let's work on this. And then thirdly, we have a form that was created and sent out to all of our schools where persons are able to note what their issues would have been, what challenges they experienced. We're able to collate that data, work on the challenges, say what needs to be done, give the resolutions, and if there was no resolution immediately, say, there was no resolution immediately, but we are working on and we will get back to you within this time frame.
Excellent, excellent. And so in addition to in the background, there's this entire system running that is helping us to determine how do we best move forward, right? How do we handle the challenges that come up? Because it's technology. I was in a session the other day and the entire thing just shut down, and it happens, right? And so it's how quickly can we come back from this, revert to do something else, and make sure that we're continuing to press forward. One of the things that we recognize automatically as we started this conversation is how quickly technology had to come to the forefront given the pandemic. But we do know that the ministry have been working on the virtual learning platform even prior to this time, assisting especially our students in the Family Island. And we've seen and struggled through this in some instances for those of us here in New Providence because it was not our reality. We went to school in person. Right. And we can look at, I guess, many of the negative things sometimes about this and what it creates for us as a people, but there must have been some positive benefits to opening virtually as well. Are you able to share with us what some of those positive benefits have been?
Yes. And I think you kind of alluded to it as you spoke about us working even before the pandemic came in. So it created an advantage for us in that we knew that on the Family Islands, there was some areas where we were not able to provide the teachers for every subject at every grade level. And so we had started working there. The pandemic came in and we were already in the process of putting forth or implementing that plan, that blueprint that we had come up with. And so for us, this has been a positive in terms of building resilience, in terms of coming up with a flexible system that has made us become more resourceful. We have seen creativity just blossom in our teachers. Those who had always been advocates for integrating technology, now was their time to step forth, and they did. We realized that it may not always be a pandemic. It could be some other man-made disaster or challenge that we're facing. It does not have to be health. It could be a national disaster. And so we have been kind of pushed into coming up with what is going to be addressing consistent change in our system. The benefit of the integration of technology is our students, our teachers could be at home. They could be on the school's compound. They could be basically anywhere in the world, but the delivery of education still takes place in a manner that's safe, in a manner where persons can remain healthy, and the benefits also in terms of the entire system. We are better able to manage, be more effective as we address the policies and programs that we need to implement, the whole bringing together of a centralized system so that information is readily available to flow over to the teaching and learning process so that we are more effective as we work our mandate in education.
Well, Ms. Sinclair, it certainly sounds like this pandemic has provided the opportunity for a great learning curve to take place. But but you speak about some of those positive benefits, and we certainly can see them, right? The decentralized system, and the ability, I love that you said, to just be able to meet change head on whenever it occurs again in future, pandemic related or otherwise. To know that this has happened means that you guys can do anything. It is that spirit of resiliency. And so we celebrate the ministry today, and you and your hardworking team, all of those teachers in the schools that have been working with you to make sure that this is executed, hiccups and all, right? There is progress being made.
Yes.
And so we celebrate that. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Are you interested in becoming a nurse? Well, Doctors Hospital would like to invite you to sign up for its Bridge to the Future Nursing Cadets program. Here to tell us more is Bridgette Sherman, Senior Vice President of Patient Care Services, Doctors Hospital Health System, and she is joined by Shalinda Cartwright, Faculty Assistant Manager of Doctors Hospital, the Institute of Learning. I always love these titles at Doctors Hospital. Long and distinguished. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. All right, so is this a new program, by the way?
Yes, we are pleased to announce this is the very first nursing cadet program that Doctors Hospital is putting on. The program is a branch of our Bridge to the Future program. And as you're aware, this is one of the programs that was coined by our president and CEO, Dr. Charles Digges. It's linked to our Mayor Rassin Foundation. It's linked to our STEP program. But during this season of the pandemic and COVID, we realized worldwide how important nurses are and how much of a shortage we're having with nurses. And so we thought to put on a program that will capture our youth from the high school and channel them through to the University of the Bahamas to become nurses. And so the program is geared toward high school students who are interested in a career in the nursing profession, and selected participants will spend the remainder of their high school career in the program. And during this time, they will be exposed to academic and clinical nursing education and will participate in clinical activities and outreach that is sponsored by the organization. Now, I'm gonna let Shalinda say to you who can participate in this program and other information regarding the fees and that sort of thing. Very exciting information.
All right, Shalinda, gonna let, Bridgette did such a great introduction just now. I'm gonna let you just go over and answer the questions that she asked.
I will do so. Thank you. So the nursing program is intended for high school students in grades 10 through 12 who have an interest in pursuing a nursing career or becoming a part of the nursing profession. Students who are interested in applying must possess 5 BJCs with C and above, inclusive of math, English, and science.
Well, I tell you what, when I think about nurses, it's almost a comparison to, you know, the role that teachers play in education. It's kind of like the lifeblood, the lifeline, just so critical and so important. So what would you say would be the benefits? I mean, for students. I mean, I think there's interest out there, no doubt about it. COVID has certainly opened up so many different doors of opportunity despite the pandemic. But what would you say would be the benefits to somebody wanting to become a nurse and pursue it as a career?
Okay, so we have quite a few benefits of becoming part of our nursing cadet program. We will have, like Bridgette said, we have the students who will have outreach. They will be able to go into the clinical area and they'll be taught clinical skills. In addition to that, we will also teach them customer service, listening skills, telephone etiquettes, ergonomics, that'll teach them proper body alignment to ensure that they stay safe as they perform their nursing roles. Walking with a patient, they will also be certified in cardiopulmonary resuscitation and first aid, or as you know, CPR. Also, we'll teach them to and help them to develop their portfolio. They will be offered BJC and BGCSE tutoring so that we ensure that they have those grades if they don't already. They will learn vital signs, basic hygienic needs, the care of the patient environment, infection control and medical asepsis, and definitely we will have them into the community as soon as it's a bit safer, right?
In outreach programs. Now, why is this important when we talk about development of program, your portfolio, tutoring for BGCSEs and BJCs? We want to ensure that students leaving this program are successful on admission to the University of the Bahamas so that they can begin the educational process, the journey toward becoming a nurse. And our duty during this time through grades 10, 11, and 12 is to ensure that these students are channeled in the correct way, whatever we need to do. And so we'll be bringing tutors in to get them to be certain that their grades are up, and these BGCSEs, when they get them, all 10 of them, that they are passing with A grades. And it's easy for them for the road, the journey that they're going to take, because the program is the nursing program is a very rigorous program, and it will require them to be supported and mentored.
Tell you what, this is certainly one of the easiest interviews I've ever done in Bahamas. You guys are just on the ball. Everything I wanted to ask, you pretty much covered, except how can people sign up and what's the deadline?
So students interested in joining are required to apply to the program for the program by completing an application form. The unfortunate thing is we can only accept 40 students, and these persons will be selected. So our top 40 students will be selected. So successful applicants are advised that their acceptance will be advised of their acceptance by the 27th of September, and the deadline, Charlinda, is the
17th
the 17th of September to get the information in.
All right, final question. I mean, it's under the Bridge to the Future program. And of course, this one is the Bridge to the Future Nursing Cadets program. I tell you what, Doctors Hospital is not only building that bridge, it sounds as though you guys are paving it. It's reinforced. You know, this is just so critical. I mean, we've heard about, you know, nursing shortages, not just in the country, but throughout the Caribbean. You know, normally people tend to, get trained and jet north or get trained and don't come back. Again, this is a wonderful opportunity for so many people to be able to take advantage of it going forward. And we want to thank you at Doctors Hospital for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for helping us to get the word out. One last thing, our launch school for this program is Queens College, who we're pleased to say that we have an affiliation agreement with. And this is one of the places that these nursing cadets will have the opportunity to go and witness what school health, one part of nursing, really looks like when we talk about offering healthcare to the youth of our Bahamas. So we're pleased to announce that.
All right, and the sign up again is at where?
You can sign up through our social media platforms. There's a direct link on Facebook. So if you were to go on Facebook and type in Doctors Hospital, you'll see the flyer that says Bridge to the Future Nursing Cadet. There's a direct link. Once you click the link, the application will be right there.
All right. Thank you so much. Shalenda Cartwright, Faculty Assistant Manager, Doctors Hospital, the Institute of Learning. She looks like she's 16, actually. And Bridgette Sherman, Senior Vice President of Patient Care Services, Doctors Hospital Health System. Ladies, thank you so much for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wanda Rogers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ranga.
Hi, I'm Dr. Valencia Johnson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Munish Sharma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jazreel Thompson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bonami.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rajesh Pahawa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Therese Nairn Knowles.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alpheus Alik,
Director of Ambulatory Services at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the consultant surgeon here at Doctors Hospital.
I'm a pediatrician here at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the director of imaging at Doctors Hospital.
An anesthesiologist here at Doctors Hospital.
Infectious diseases physician.
I'm radiologist at Doctors Hospital.
Emergency room physician here at Doctors Hospital.
and I'm clinical director of the Emergency Transport Services and Continuing Medical Education here at Doctors Hospital.
I am vaccinated against COVID-19.
I have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
And I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID.
I'm fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I hope you are too.
Are you?
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 Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this marvelous Monday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Philip Simon.
And of course, it's a pleasure to still be with you. Thank you so much for staying tuned into the show. Call a friend, text a friend, tell them Bahamas at Sunrise is on. It's been a great morning so far, and we're looking forward to the second half of the show. A great conversation there with those nurses, Phil, and I love that you made the point that, you know, this cadet program really creates the feeder system that allows us to get more people involved in a segment of medicine that is so necessary.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great mix. And of course, your segment focus on education and the role of technology. Lots of great things are happening, lots of progress. And at the heart of it, of course, is health and education. And, you know, this is why we do this. I mean, you know, it's such a pleasure to be here on Bahamas at Sunrise. For me, it's a learning experience every single time.
Every time I leave a bit wiser and knowing a bit more, and then able to put so much more into context. I think it gives me just a bit more patience because I understand so many of the things that are going on simultaneously, right? And so even just being able to see the benefit of technology happen in this pandemic, you know, certainly all around it has been a shift for many of us, but it really has brought our systems a bit more up to date because things have to be online now. And so it was the force that shifted us, I think, from a global perspective to being a bit more tech savvy and recognizing that this is the way of the future. And so, yeah. We got more to come in the second half of the show. Looking forward to speaking with Donovan, Rolle of J Fitness, about his new book, The Heart of a Spartan.
Right, and we'll get an update from BPL on progress in Abaco 2 years after Torian. But again, let's take a second look with weather at sunrise with the G-Man, Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather sunrise, our tropical weather outlook, and we have Hurricane Larry This morning at 5 a.m., Hurricane Larry was located near latitude 21.5 degrees north, longitude 52.4 degrees west, some 730 miles east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. Larry winds are now up to 120 miles per hour with higher gusts, and the movement northwest at 12 miles per hour. We're also watching an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the northern portion of the Yucatan Peninsula and the south-central Gulf of Mexico, associated with a surface trough and upper-level disturbance. This system has a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation are expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, weak high-pressure ridging continues to produce light breezes across the islands, while streaming tropical moisture will support some showers and thunderstorms by afternoon. In your marine forecast, swells associated with Hurricane Larry will start to affect the islands today through tomorrow, with those swells up to about 4 feet. Today through Wednesday, those winds to the northwest and central will be light and variable, seas 3 foot or less, but as I said, those swells will be up to 4 to 7 feet. For the southeastern islands, those winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. The tides. You can expect a high tide at 7:55 this morning. The next low tide will be at 2:04 this afternoon. High gain this evening at 8:18. Sunset will be 7:21 this evening. Rising more at 6:53. UV index 9. Your water temperature 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase, no moon. Your extended look. Weak high pressure will continue to be the dominant feature, but you still have some streaming tropical moisture. So, a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms, mainly by the afternoon hours. And yes, the temperature time will be in the lower 90s at nighttime in the upper 70s. That's what you're up in your fun. Look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Dorian hit the Bahamas on September 1st, 2019 as a Category 5 hurricane, causing flooding and mass destruction on the northwest islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. That was 2 years ago. And today, we want to get an update from BPL about the restoration efforts in Abaco. Here to talk with us this morning is Mr. Marvin Green. He's the Abaco Operations Manager at BVL. Good morning, Mr. Green. It almost looks like you've got a halo in the background there. I think that's good news.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's been 2 years. We know the story. We've seen the devastation. It's impacted not just the lives of those in the northern Bahamas, but I would say the entire country. And it's good to actually have you on the show to kind of give us an update on how things are going. How would you frame, particularly the BPL journey in Abaco over the last 2 years?
Well, it's been very interesting, challenging. Right, the storm pretty much lasted about 3 days. I mean, a lot of times we talk about the first, but it really lasted 3 days. Between the 4th and the 5th day, there was a lot of moving about, getting some of the staff to safety. And so basically it was just securing our families and stuff like that. So some 80 to 90% of the staff had to be, they were displaced. But we pretty much, in some of the other areas, we were able to get started fairly quickly with the restoration. For example, in Moores Island, the team there led by Julian Jones and a few staff from the mainland who were natives of Moores Island, they were able to come together and get that island back on the go within 10 days. So that's the first instance of any restoration from as far as the Abaco operations is concerned. And it's been a journey ever since, and we're still at it. We pretty much have power available to everyone who wants it, but it's been a real uphill journey. I often say we would have been a lot faster as far as restoration, if not for all of these other happenings, such as the pandemic. But we started in South Abaco, because we had less damage there, and we were able to power that area up fairly quickly, of course, with assistance from our head office in Nassau. So we sent linesmen down and got the south area up. And of course, with most of our transmission lines down, we were able to just power up those remote areas. Early on, we had about 7 satellite stations where, you know, we would just build the system in a small area, power up from a generator right there, go to the north and you power up from there. Had to rebuild the entire north feeder. So taking care of things from Cooperstown all the way down. And of course, we had to put a satellite station there. And of course, we had assistance from Carolec partners who really had things going, and they were great assistance to us. And obviously, in comes the pandemic, and that kind of made things difficult as far as getting that outside help. And that slowed the process. Without the pandemic, we would have been restored pretty much within a year. Yeah. And so it's been a build journey.
Yeah. I was going to ask you how COVID would have impacted those efforts. You know, you mentioned just now that power is available for anybody who pretty much wants it. What exactly does that mean? I thought I understood that BPL has about 2/3 of its customers back on the grid. What is preventing anybody from connecting at this point?
So we our entire grid, the main infrastructure has been restored. We have the whole island electrified. Okay. The only key that is not connected to the grid is Elbow Key, but we have a satellite plant there. So what we're saying is that to every community, we have the supplies restored. Okay. The challenge is that there are places, homes, businesses that are not ready to receive those supplies, and they're still rebuilding. There's still many homes that are not yet even touched since the storm. So we do have around 5,700 by now, near 5,800 customers back online as of the latest figures. So that's what we mean when we say we have power available for everyone.
What you know, we've had these experiences, you know, obviously throughout my lifetime and yours as well, with these hurricanes and differing degrees of devastation. And you know, we're so used to seeing the poles in a lot of different areas. And, you know, you have the primary subs and all of that. What has been different about the reconstruction efforts this time? Has BPL taken a different type of approach? I don't think anybody obviously could have imagined Dorian. And I'm not even sure what would happen if another storm of that magnitude came again. But has there been a different approach to the electrification of our islands?
It's a good question, and yes, we, you know, this is Abaco, this is the Bahamas. We live in a storm zone, so hurricanes normally are exciting for us, you know, especially for the young children. But we've never seen anything like this. In the past, we have a terrible storm. The worst one was Hurricane Floyd, at least in my lifetime, right, and which we were able to restore in a couple of months. And they had some down poles and service wires. In this case, we didn't just have poles go down. We had structures destroyed. Mm-hmm. Power plant in Marsh Harbor was totally torn to pieces, and substations were destroyed. So we're not only building the transmission lines and distribution lines, we have to rebuild structures and to get all of our, you know, those protection devices that once existed, they were all rooted out. So this restoration is different. It's a total rebuilding. We've never seen this before.
So you're just about there now. You know, what are the absolute final steps as you see on Abaco today, and what can we expect over the next several months?
So where we're at now, we have to rely on the traditional type protection, fusing, and so we ask really the customers to be patient with us because we're still hardening the system. We're still trying with some resiliency. And let me go back to that just a bit. The first question what BPL is doing differently now, like I say, is building strong infrastructures. But not only that, we're building a 69 kV standard line from Marsh Harbor to Cooperstown with ductile steel poles, iron poles. So that we expect that the turnaround, should something like this happen again, would be much quicker. So that I wanted to add that in. But yeah, we at this point we are still adding on customers, and so we have several instances maybe during the week where we'll have a planned outage to add in a new customer that wants to come online. In some cases, not every case. But again, we're right now we at that traditional type infrastructure where we rely on fusing the high tech protection devices that we would have, say, if a lightning would strike in the south, to clear it right away, that it won't impact all of the other parts of the island. These things we're still getting in place on the ground. So these are growing pains, and that is one of the greatest challenges right now.
Well, it certainly sounds like you guys have everything in hand and under control. 2 years after, goodness, the most devastating storm of all of our lifetimes. Marvin Green, thank you so much for joining us here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless.
Thank you. Marvin Green, Abaco Operations Manager of BPL. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
Summer is here, and Shell presents a summer of fun. Win $30,000 in prizes when you spend $20 in fuel at any Shell location, now through September 10th. Experience incredible hotel stays in the Family Islands and Nassau. Win thousands of dollars in fuel, groceries, and electronic devices. Fuel up today and submit your receipt by WhatsApp, email, and Facebook. Follow us on Facebook for more chances to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Now, you may know him as the passionate exercise guru of J Fitness, but today Donovan Rolle joins us to talk about his second book, The Heart of a Spartan, and I got my copy right here, so I get to show off that I've got my book in hand. So very happy to welcome him to Bahamas at Sunrise this morning. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, Donovan.
Yes, morning. Thank you for having me. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss my new book, The Heart of a Spartan.
So excited to talk with you, two-time author. Now, what is this particular book about?
Well, this particular book is more about motivating people to become their best selves, to overcome obstacles and understand that life will give you challenges, but it's how we prepare for them and our mindset and going through them, how we'll overcome the challenges.
Okay. Why did you decide to write this book?
Well, what originally happened was that I got an injury. I popped my quadricep tendon, so I was going to be down for a period of time. And I said, what am I going to do during this time? So I started to write, and I realized that someone else has to be going through the same process that I'm going through. So why not help try to motivate someone to get over that? And then it was, the writing process starts. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. And then the pandemic came. And oftentimes we say, if I only had time, I would get this done. If I only had time, I would get that done. And I realized most of us had more time. So what better time than the pandemic to finish off the things that we started that we said we had no time to do?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. So, what is the Spartan trifecta, and how did this challenge you?
Well, it definitely challenged me because it took me out of my comfort zone. The Spartan trifecta is you have to complete 3 races within a calendar year. The first is a 5K with about 10 obstacles. Another is a 10K with about 20 obstacles. And the last thing within the 12-month period is the super, which is a half marathon with 30 obstacles. So you're running in mud, you're climbing, jumping, crawling, lifting. So it's real challenging, but I'm a guy who likes to challenge myself. So like I jump with airplanes. If you say I can't do it, sir, I'm going to do it. So just give me the challenge. And it really, like most things I say, it's really a mental thing because at a certain point in time, everyone wants to stop because you reach this makes no sense. Why am I doing this? But like anything else, what was taught to me by my parents, if you start something, you have to finish it. So then those things I speak to as well in the book.
All right. So was it the Spartan trifecta that inspired you to call it the Heart of a Spartan?
Yes. And then one of my favorite movies is 300. So when few took on many, regardless of the obstacles, they knew they stood a chance that if we have what it takes, and no matter the obstacle, the David and Goliath story, no matter what's in front of you, you put one step in front of the other, you believe in yourself and plan. And that's what you have to remember. Planning is important. That's why one of the chapters speaks about setting goals. And someone like me, I believe in SMART goals and making it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So we just can't wish these things. While we have to be mentally strong to get through it, we definitely have to plan, put a plan of attack, and make sure we have people in our circle that can help hold us accountable and to attain these goals.
I love that. I love that you talk about SMART goals. I love that you talk about the circle and needing people who could back you up and be like, but didn't you say you used to do this? Now you got to do this now because you said so, right?
Yes.
So I'm assuming those are some of the stories that you share in the book. Are there any others that you want to share with us this morning of some of the stories in the book?
Well, I share some of the stories with your mind is your only limit. So we spoke about that. Consistency, get your mind right. And one of my favorite taglines, but did you die? The reality of the situation is that we're going to go through so much things in life and we want to stop. But what's the worst case? Either you're going to die, you're going to get through it, or you're going to learn from it. So the reality is if you didn't die, you learned. And the reality is that we're not going to put ourselves in positions where we are going to die. So just face it, fight it, and you'll be better on the next side.
Okay. Who do you think would enjoy this book most? But before we came on air, Phil Simon was saying how his mom works out with you when she's got a signed copy. I obviously showed off the one that we have in our house, my husband and I, The Heart of a Spartan. But who do you think would enjoy this book?
I think anyone who wants to be their better self. Anyone who sometimes struggle with, you know what, I need to complete a task. Anyone who doubts themselves. Anyone who realizes that you have what it takes, but even with that, you need to be smart, you need to be strategic in how you go about it and those who you surround yourself with. So I think all of us from time to time face challenges and we just need to be reassured that we can do it, that we can be reassured that once we take the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, the trifold effect, that things will happen for our betterment.
Okay. Now, I love that, and you said this more than once, so I know that this really is important to you, this idea of goal setting, right? Of having the right people around you. And I think so many of us start out the year, and it's crazy because it's September, but for most of us, we know September means it's Christmas, the year's done. Yeah. And so now a lot of people are going to go into strategic planning sessions for next year, company-wise. And we should, I guess, kind of be having those strategic planning sessions with ourselves. In sports and in life, why is it so important to just break big visions down, big goals down into manageable bite-sized pieces in order to achieve them? Why do you think that's so critical?
Well, that's important because sometimes we become overwhelmed with the large tasks. For example, if we do a marathon, when you think about the 26 miles, like, nah, I'm good. But you start 1 mile at a time, 1 foot, and it seems cliche, but really it's just 1 foot in front of the next. If you chip away at it, small ox for big tree, you would see results. There's a quote, I'm going to mess it up, that like running water breaks down the rock, but it's just the continuous effort. And that's why also one of the chapters in the book is consistency or silence. So it's what we do continuously is us pounding that rock continuously that's going to get us there. So yes, this is the big goal, but we have to plan and take it in bite size and have milestones. And you know about that. Once you set the milestone, then we move on from that. And sometimes it doesn't always go like it. Sometimes we take a step back to move forward, but we have to remain confident and committed to the task at hand.
All right. Well, listen, this interview alone tells me you're talking plenty sense, Donovan. And so, of course, all of that is in the book for people to read. Where can people get the book?
Well, right now, people can get the book at Chapter One Bookstore, at the Oasis cafeteria in BFM. You can reach out to me for your personalized signed copy. I come into you. For those of you like the e-copies on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Lulu.com, your favorite site. So we have it as e-copy as well for my international people. You can order it. So it's there for you to read. So just say what, and Jay would be there with your signed copy.
I am so happy to have you on the show this morning, Donovan. And I think so many of us have different areas of struggle or different areas where we want to see some changes. And so whether it's fitness or it's work related, it's getting a house, a home, a car, whatever it is, the goal is if we get at the heart of a Spartan, we'll be able to find some motivation to get ourselves to push through it. And so we thank you so much for joining us this morning and for sharing these thoughts with us, taking the pandemic and turning it into something positive. And so we thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, Star.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about Trinity Christian Schools?
We are a family school located on Trinity Way, Stapleton Gardens. We offer quality Christian education from preschool to grade 6. Here are the reasons why you should choose Trinity Christian Schools.
We offer quality Christian education.
We are a family school.
Our teachers provide individual support.
Our class sizes are small.
We offer a safe and happy environment.
Our teachers are caring and experienced.
Join the Trinity family.
We want you to be a part of the Trinity Christian Schools.
Come join us.
We want you to be a part of our family.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We certainly hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
Absolutely, always a pleasure. I tell you, Jay has almost motivated me to go running the streets this morning, but just a little bit more. I'll do it later.
You do it later? Famous last words. But yeah, no, I tend to go right after I'm done sunrise. I throw on something and just walk, right? Running, not my thing, not my specialty, has never been since primary school. But I try to get the miles in, even if it's walking. So great conversation with him this morning. And again, we hope that everybody has an absolutely wonderful week. And again, a very, very happy birthday to June Alfrey.
Absolutely. Enjoy your week.